Okay, here we are cooking for Guido. Guido, we're gonna make chicken and mushrooms, another one of Guido's favorites. So first thing I'm doing is the mushrooms. There's about 12 mushrooms here. You can use the brown cremini or the white button, whatever you like. And I just like to take a paper towel with a little bit of water on it, not too much, and just clean them off, right? Just get the sand off, wipe them, and then just dry them off. And then just cut off the ends and just slice them thin. If you like them thicker, cut them thicker. It's a personal choice. And like I said, there's about 12 or 14. I filled up a nice big bowl. You can put more, you can put less, however you like. Okay, so we have two quite large chicken breasts. For us, we're 4 of us, and there'll be enough for lunches as well. If you have a smaller chicken breast, you have to size them accordingly. So first thing I'm gonna do here is there's a nice big chunk here. I'm gonna separate that as one nice piece. And then you can see how thick these are, right? So I'm actually going to take this very carefully with a sharp knife, but very carefully, start about halfway through and just try and make a nice long cut. And there's your nice piece, and there's another nice piece. And if there's any extra fat, cut it off. If you like it, keep it. Okay, and same with this one. This one's not as big as that one, so I'll just cut it in half. And again, be very careful. Sharp knife. Nice, easy, long strokes. Nice pieces. So, as I said, there's 4 of us. There's 4 nice pieces, very generous portion, and it's perfect. Guido, if it's for you, one of these is enough, right? Okay. Okay, so next we're going to take some sea salt and just, generously salt the chicken. You want flavor. And then turn them over and do the same thing. So see, one hand is salt, one hand is wet chicken. Don't mix the two. You don't want your wet chicken hand in there. Right? And if you, want to have them super thin, super fine, you can get yourself a meat tenderizer and give them a good pounding and make them really thin, and they'll be twice as large. But I like to have it a little chunky, personal thing. And we're gonna put some pepper as well. I usually just pepper one side. If you like a little extra pepper, put a little extra pepper. I'll put some in the dredge as well. So that's done. Now we're gonna come over here and we're going to get ready to coat the chicken before we cook it. So I have about a cup of all-purpose flour. You just spread it on the cookie sheet. I find this works quite well. We've got a teaspoon of sea salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, get yourself a fork. Just stir all that in. And then we're going to start to dredge the chicken. Gets a nice coating on it, and what this flour will also do is it will help thicken the broth that we make in the chicken to hold on to either pasta or potato, whatever you're serving it with. So again, we have a wet hand and a dry hand. So the wet hand is going to go with the chicken, and actually the dry hand we don't really need. We'll just keep it over here in case we need it. So nicely dredged, put it to the side. Next one. Same thing. Okay, so they're all dredged in flour. Now, some people like to do an egg wash as well, and the breadcrumbs. You can certainly do that, right? Scramble a couple of eggs, a little bit of milk in it, salt and pepper, dip it, and then dip it into breadcrumbs. I like it this way just because it's a little less coating, it's a little lighter, it's not as heavy a meal, and it goes really well with the mushrooms, and you get a really nice cream consistency with the flour alone. Okay, so we're going to let those sit for about 5 minutes just to hydrate. We want the flour to work its way in, and then we're going to fry them up and get cooking. Okay, so we're going to cook the chicken now. I put enough oil just to sort of cover the bottom of the pan, and that's it. Vegetable oil is probably the best thing because you want something a little higher cooking point than olive oil. So vegetable oil, and we're going to cook the chickens, put them in, and we're going to cook them about 1.5 minutes aside. They may not be fully cooked, but that's okay because we're going to cook them some more afterwards within the cream and the mushrooms. Okay? So we've cooked the first side 2 minutes. And this is sort of what you want. A little bit of color, not too much. And then the same on the second side, 2 minutes. And then we're gonna take them off. Like I said, they may not be fully cooked, that's okay, because we're gonna put them back in once we get the mushroom sauce going. So when we're cooking this, we want it to around medium to high. Okay, just be careful. Don't cook it too hot. You don't want it to burn. Okay, so we're just gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to that. We're gonna cook in this because I like the flour. It's gonna help to thicken things. So we'll put in the mushrooms all together. Careful. I have about a tablespoon of butter. You drop in there, and about 2 small cloves of garlic. And we're just gonna cook that until the mushrooms are nicely cooked. I'll add a little bit of salt. And we'll come back in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so there are the mushrooms. It's about 2 minutes. Now I'm just going to put a sprinkling of flour. That's about a tablespoon of flour. And why am I doing that? I'm putting that flour so that we're going to make a little sauce here, and we want it to be thick. So that's going to help with thickening it. Okay, we just work in that flour. And then we're going to add 2 cups of chicken stock. Get all the good stuff at the bottom. And a cup of heavy cream. If you want to use 18%, that's fine too. 35%, either one works well. And we're going to stir this up, make sure we get all those juicy bits off the bottom of the pan. That's all flavor. And we're going to cook this down for about 3 minutes. Okay, so there's our timer. You can see it's bubbling nicely. So at this point, we're going to add the chicken, and we're going to turn it down. We don't want that heavy boiling, we just want a low simmer. Okay, so we're going to add the chicken in. You want to use a good sized pan so you can get all the bits in together. Obviously, if you have less chicken, you can use a smaller pan. We've got quite a bit, so we're using this big pan. So that's all the chicken in. Any juices there. You don't want to waste anything. So that's what you want. That's the bubbling effect you want, right? If it's bubbling any harder than that, you just want to turn it down. We'll leave that for about 10 minutes, and then we're ready to eat. So we cleaned up, raw chicken, everything's clean, put away. Now we're going to do a side. So clean cutting board, clean knife. We're going to do sweet potato. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can fork it, penetrate it with a fork all the way around, put it in the microwave for about 5 minutes, let it rest for about 5 minutes. Lovely baked potato, really good. Or you can cut it into cubes like this, and we're gonna toss it up in the pan with a little bit of water, some olive oil, salt and pepper, and it's a perfect side for this dish. So I just peel it, cut it in half, and then I cut it into strips, and I cut it into cubes. Pretty straightforward. That's it. Okay, so I put the sweet potatoes into the pan, dry. You can hear it starting to sizzle. So I'm going to add about a half a cup of water. And that's, it's a smaller burner, but it's on medium to high heat. And we're just going to cover it and let it steam for about 5 minutes. Okay, so the water's evaporated. The sweet potatoes are fork tender. So I'm putting some olive oil on. And I'm going to put some salt. And at this point, we're just going to put a little crust on them, some browning, and we will be ready to eat. I had a fennel in the fridge, so I just sliced it up super thin. I cored it and then sliced it in half and sliced it up super thin, and also cut in a small mandarin. And then I just put a little bit of rice wine vinegar, olive oil, and then just a touch of salt and pepper. and it's delicious if you like fennel. If you don't, maybe not so much. Okay, try it, you'll love it. Okay, chicken's ready, sweet potatoes are ready, salad's ready. Now I'm gonna taste it. Now I like a little bit of the, see it's nice and thick, so if you wanted to make some pasta noodles and pour it over top, yummy. Or you can just pour it over top of your potatoes, or you can just eat it the way it is. Hey Guido, you ready? Delicious. Try it, enjoy it. That was about 40 minutes, start to finish. Pretty quick, pretty easy, simple ingredients. Try it and enjoy it.